Prior to our appointment, we are going to send out a pre-prepared listing package, and when we're working on our market analysis, we're going to have 3 or 4 actives, 2 pendings, 3 or 4 solds, and around 2 expired listings. In order to set ourselves apart from any competition, we will deliver a basket prior to our appointment. In that basket are a few different things. We will download the report right from KW University. We customize it just a very little bit. We bind the report so that it looks really professional. We'll put it in a beautiful basket along with a personal brochure or some marketing material, information about our company. We'll even ask the seller when we're making the appointment, do they want a special soda that we can put in our basket? Before we knock on the door or ring the doorbell, we want to make sure that we're not wearing our sunglasses and that we are really realtor ready for our appointment. Once the seller opens the door, we will ask if we can have the grand tour. We call this tour and rapport. So not only are we going to be touring the house, but we're going to actually try to build some rapport by asking questions and commenting on the house. It's a mistake to try to sit on a sofa or in a living room. You always want to try to get to a table. It's going to help you spread out your materials a little bit. Once you get to the table and everybody has sat down, you will feel a very awkward moment in the room. This is when the room kind of gets a little goofy because sellers might have their defenses up. So one of the best lines that you can use at this point is before we get started. Once you say those words, before we get started, you'll notice that the room will kind of just relax a little bit because we actually haven't started yet. Take the time to thank the sellers for inviting you over to their home. So the whole line would sound like, before we get started, I just want to take the time to thank you for inviting me over. There are thousands of realtors that you could have invited in, and I'm always humbled that I'm the one. We have learned to introduce the 8-step listing presentation from Bruce Hardy right on KW Connect. So let me just outline those steps. So we would just simply tell the seller at this point that there are 8 steps to a successful sale. If we do all 8 steps correctly, we will have a successful sale. Step 1, understanding the current market conditions. I'm not sure if you have heard from all of your neighbors and your coworkers and your friends that it's a really terrible market and that things aren't selling, and I'm hoping to share with you in the next few minutes that things are actually selling and it's not as doomsday as everybody says. Step 2 would be to kind of zone in on the property value of your house, and to do that, I have prepared a full market analysis to share with you. Step 3 is a critical step, I'm sure you'll agree, and that's to set the right price. Step 4, calculating your bottom line. I want you to know exactly what you're going to walk away with at the closing, no surprises. And step 5, should we decide to go into business together, we're going to be doing a full tour of your home, and I want to give you some tips that can maybe increase the value even further for you. Step 6 is advertising and marketing. Step 7 is perhaps the most important reason that you would want to hire us, and that is when the offers start to come in. We are going to help you with negotiations, setting up appraisals, inspections, repairs, coordinating closings, helping with the mortgage companies. So that's one of the most important reasons to look at a realtor. Is that realtor qualified to help you with all that? And step 8 is just simply getting you settled into your new home. After we've gone through all of those 8 steps, then we will actually go back to step 1 and present our broad market view as well as a market analysis on that property. We will calculate the bottom line. Once we come to that bottom figure of what we know that that seller is going to be walking away with or bringing, then we will circle that and look at the seller and say, does that make good financial sense to you? And at that point, we will be quiet because it's the seller's turn to answer the question. Now, you might think that there would be a lot of objections going back and forth from the seller at this point, but I will tell you that the presentation itself really kind of pre-handles most of the objections. Don't be surprised if you don't get any. After we've actually physically taken the listing, we will thank the seller and make a separate appointment to come back and do a few things. On our second appointment, we will take our photos. Perhaps we will do a complete tour to give some tips on staging. At that point, we would install our lockbox, and if there's an appropriate sign that we can put in the yard. I'm Jackie Ellis. I've been a full-time real estate agent for over 20 years. Very early on in my career, I decided to become a listing agent. I immediately saw the value in leveraging my time through listings. I'm also an operating principal in 2 market centers, and I just shared our listing presentation with you. I hope that you find it's an easy presentation to learn. Simple, clean, yet very effective. I know that you'll have much success with it. Good luck!